So that'll move us on into Accent or Ghost.
Accent or Ghost.
So I watched this TED Talk
Okay.
called The Healing Drummer. Toby Christensen was the speaker in this TED Talk, and he talked about the healing powers of a djembe.
Oh, that specific drum, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But all he was saying was I felt a healing power, and then the rest of the video, which was 8 minutes in remainder, was just him playing.
Oh, wow.
Not like,
Okay.
and just like constant beat, like house music type tempo, like
Sure.
but playing. And I was like, I don't understand this. So, what do you think about drums and percussion being used as therapy?
As therapy. I like that word therapy a lot better than the word healing because that's a little too abstract for me. Therapy, though, yeah. And I liken this to like a forced meditation. Like playing drums, if you're really playing drums, like you are consumed by the music itself. You know, a good analogy for this would be, what was Bob Marley's quote? Like, when I play music, I feel no pain. That sort of thing. And that you are so consumed by the music itself that you're almost in a forced meditative state where you really, you have this inability to think of other things. And that, to me, is some sort of like a mental break. Like you get a pause, right? It's one of the reasons that meditation is such a helpful thing to do, is because it's one of the times when you truly get to, for lack of better words, turn your brain off, right? Like not have active thoughts just sort of assaulting your consciousness all the time, which is what it's like to be a human, right? Like your brain is sort of active all the time. So yeah, I mean, I definitely, it's hard to quantify, and it's going to be very personal and different from person to person. But I do think that there are some therapeutic benefits to playing drums in that you get this, a certain version of a reset, or at least a break or a pause from the homeostasis that your brain is normally in, which is like an active thought. Like things are always sort of moving. The gears are always turning. You make somewhere in the ballpark, what is it, like 10,000 decisions a day? And you know, it's constant, right? So I don't know. There is definitely something very consuming about music that would alleviate some of the, I don't know, the burdens of consciousness itself, I suppose. But it depends on what a person's problem is. Like, what do you need therapy for? You know, like a good example of a therapy that could go either way, like it would help some people and not some others, is equestrian therapy. That's a fascinating one, like horse therapy. Because one of the reasons this works, it's really fascinating. I've been to a few horse farms over the years and learned this. Horses, they have this like weird intuition when it comes to humans where they will obey a command that you give them, a trained horse will, but only if you say it the right way. If you say it with an attitude, they don't do it. It's very interesting. So it's like how you approach the problem is related to whether or not the problem gets solved. It's not just doing the thing you're supposed to do. It's also like your mindset while you're doing it. And that's one of the reasons that therapy would be beneficial to someone. But if someone else had a different problem, that's a weird therapy for them. It might not have any impact at all, or it might just be an irrelevant exercise for their particular problem. So I wouldn't claim that like drums can help everybody and everyone should be a drummer for the therapeutic and meditative advantages that it might offer. But you could say that about therapy and meditation in of itself. Like if you don't have anything that allows you to escape your consciousness in a healthy way, at least momentarily, then you probably need something like that. So if it wasn't drumming, it would be running. If it wasn't running, it could be, I don't know, spending time with your family. If it wasn't that, it could be any other hobby or passion or thing that again consumes your consciousness to give you a break from consciousness itself. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, drums, it could be therapy, man. It really could for some people. Just it's very personal. It depends on if that does it for you. Does it feel therapeutic? If it does, then it's probably a good therapy, right?
Yep. So Accent or Ghost?
I'll give it the accent. Not for everybody, but I think as a whole, it's probably a very useful tool. And I would also think kids, it would be more useful. I would think let's just say like a stressed out 8-year-old. Like drums might be all that you need to sort of have that like mental break and to get your mind off of the thing that's bothering you, like in a more simplistic way. I don't know that it would be as impactful for an adult because you're just dealing with like real shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might just feel a little novel to an adult. But again, person to person, it depends. I'll give it the accent, though. I think
All right.
conceptually it makes a lot of sense. Thank you for watching this clip from the Orlando Drummer Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more lessons like this one, masterclasses, interviews, lesson packs, individual chops and grooves, everything you can imagine, I have all of that waiting for you on orlandodrummer.com. It is an online drum school in the style of Netflix. Free 7-day trial at the link in the description. Check it out.